in NIC as a scientist lead. So I am going to give lecture on this topic, network security basics. Um, First of all, we need to understand about the network. What is the network? Network is the fabric of interconnected elements uh, that are related to each other. These elements can be any device, communicating device, or connecting device, or any other thing, real-time things. When we are talking about the network. But when we talk about the computer network, it is the computer network connects the two or more computers with various devices in order to share the resources among people and other computers. These computer networks devices can be servers, routers, or any computers, any other hardware devices like printers, scanners, and it can be laptop and other things. Now we need to understand about the network security. Uh, Here you can see the four views of the security. Uh, uh, Here are some surveillance camera. They are used for the security. And here is police, uh, uh, which in front of any minister's house for providing the security for the any ministers or CM or PM. These are all four views for the security of the. Here is the some security goals. CIA Triad here, which provide the there are three components of the security. First one is confidentiality. Here C represent confidentiality, or I represent integrity, and A represent availability. Which uh, confidentiality refers to an organization's effort to keep their data private or secret. Or we can say, uh, in this, only those persons or any other entity which is authorized can access the any specific assets or data. Any unauthorized persons or entity cannot access the uh, assets or data, uh, which is the meaning of confidentiality. Means the data should be confidential. Like when in the bank, when we get our debit card, they provide us PIN number, which is very confidential to us. Uh, because if anyone get the PIN number, then he can he can use our PIN number for the transaction. He can debit the money from our account. So it is very crucial for us. So it should be confidential. Second term is integrity. Integrity means कि quality of some things being whole or complete. Suppose we are sending any data from sender to receiver. So data should be received by the receiver in reliable, authentic, and correct way. It should be correct. It should not be modified. Whatever data sender has sent, this exact data should be received by the receiver. Or we can say that data has not been tampered or modified. It should be trusted. Third term is availability. Availability means whatever we want to access, it should be accessed by us in timely manner, or uh, in reliable manner. Suppose we want to access our computer, or uh, we have typed our login ID or password, but we are not able to access it because of any other problems, any attack or other things. So it is called the attack on availability, because we are not able to access this device in correct time, or whichever we want. These three terms are used for the security purpose. It is called the CIA Triad. Goals of CIA Triad is to ensure computer system CIA by keeping out unwanted intruders while providing unauthorized access. जो भी the users, those are unauthorized, they should not able to access the device or data. Here it is the knowledge check. There are applications. There are applications or terms which are used for the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. There are 6 terms, 6 statements which are used for all 3 terms. 2 is for confidentiality, 2 is for integrity, 2 is for availability. Here is it is random manner. It is the correct explanation of the applications statements for confidentiality, which is statement is like a hacker guesses a user's password from their social media profile and uses it to access their photos and in the cloud. मतलब means के hacker has accessed the photos, means these photos were confidential, but hacker has accessed these photos, so it is attack on the confidentiality. Like cyber criminal gains access to the point of sale devices of major retailer and steals customers' private credit card information. It is also attack on the confidentiality. Integrity, here if we are if attacker is modifying or tampering data, then it is attack on the integrity. Like cyber warrior accesses a government document that contains government document. These are the very crucial document. These very important. They should be confidential and they should not be modified. That contains instructions on how to properly secure a nuclear reactor and changes the instruction in the document. It is attack on the integrity. A hacker defaces a corporation's website with a picture of pirate flags. Here attacker has inserted the pirate flags in pictures. Then it is he has modified the actual picture, so it is attack on the integrity. Third is a denial of service attack. Takes the government's healthcare system offline, making it impossible for legitimate users to access the site to enroll in a healthcare plan. It is attack on the availability, because in availability, attack on availability, the example of attack on availability is Ddos Attack, in which attacker send the some bulk of the messages, bulk of the data to the particular receiver, so that the actual one who want to receive this receiver's device, he is not able to access that device because of that DOS attack. Here is ransomware attack uses malware to encrypt the user's data, making it inaccessible, and demands the user pay sum of money to the hacker to recover the data. It is attack on the availability, because authorized user is not able to access his device or his data. These are the some cyber security landscape: network security, application security, security audit and compliance, endpoint security, security monitoring, capacity building, cyber security policy. This is the multi-layered security. Here is the gateway. First one, when we reach any website or any first of all, we face the gateway. We need to put the DNS entry. After that, here is perimeter devices, network security devices. These are used on the network, like DDoS, network firewall, IPS, UTM, application firewall. Here is the endpoint security. Endpoint security is the antivirus, patch management, host-based firewall. After that, servers, web server, data server, OS server. After this, application security. In this, it includes penetration testing, security audits. Then actual data. Here we provide the security in terms of encryption, decryption, or digital by using digital signature. These are the some terms which are used for the data center security. First is perimeter level. I have previously explained about the perimeter level security like network firewall, IPS, DDoS, or netting, or yes, server security, antivirus, patch management, application security. For application security, these are the some security practices: vulnerability assessment of server, security audit of application, source code and black box scan of application, penetration testing, security monitoring. These are the some landscape. First of all, here we need to explain about the attackers. Okay, how many attackers can be? How many types of attacker can be? These are some types of attackers. First one is hackers, second hacktivists, third is cyber terrorists, fourth cyber criminals, cyber warriors, ethical hackers. These are all the attackers that can be in the form of these six forms. Six forms. First one is the hackers. Hmm. Hackers is explained in terms of hackers who want to gain access for fun. Hackers are the attackers who want to get access for the fun and fame. They don't want to damage or disrupt. They only try to access the unwanted things only for the fun and fame. They want to be famous. That's why they are called the hackers. The second one is the hacktivist, hacker plus activist. Uh, these are the attacker which target a specific organization because they are motivated by political, social, or moral positions. A hacktivist group acts as a individuals towards a common goal and may concentrate on denial of service, loss of reputation, or stealing sensitive data. Third one is the cyber terrorist. Cyber terrorist is the attacker who want to damage or disrupt the data, assets, or particular community. A cyber terrorist can be from the particular group or particular community. They have the specific target. Fourth one is the cyber criminals. Cyber criminals are the attacker who attack only to steal money or information. Or another one is the cyber warriors. Cyber warriors are motivated by the national interest of the country's government. They typically attack other nations, but sometimes attack individual companies. In all of these, first four attackers are negative in terms in the negative terms because cyber warriors are the positive for the any nations because he attacked other nations, other countries for the welfare of the his country. But overall, these five terms are the negative. But last one is the ethical hackers. Ethical hackers are the positive attackers. Ethical hackers work to protect companies from digital attackers. Ethical hackers are trained to discover weakness and report back to an organization so it can protect against unwanted attackers. These all are the different attackers. These all six are. Here is the network attack method. Different type of attacks which can be in our real life. First, cyber attack. Uh, Cyber attack is an attack launched from one or more computers against another computer, multiple computers or networks. Cyber attacks can be broken down into two broad types: attacks where the goal is disable the target computer or knock it offline, or attacks where the goal is to get access to the target computer's data and perhaps gain admin privileges on it. These are the some attack types like phishing, DDoS, ME, man in the middle attack, malware, ransomware, APTs, advanced persistent threats, zero-day exploits. First one is the phishing. First one is the phishing. Phishing is a technique by which cyber criminals craft emails to fool a target into taking some harmful actions. The recipient might be tricked into downloading malware that are disguised as an important document, for instance, or urged to click on a link that takes them to a fake website where they will be asked for sensitive information like bank username and passwords. Like in banks also, sometimes we get the messages or sometimes we get the calls from unknown person. They pretend to we are the bank employee or they ask for the any debit card pin or debit card uh, OTP. With your debit card is mm, expired and we will issue the new debit card. So you need to provide the some details. Then sometimes the person he didn't know he has no knowledge of the security. They provide the information and by using the information they debit the money from their account. So these are some example of phishing. There are some other examples like many phishing emails are relatively crude and emailed to thousands of potential victims, but some are specifically crafted for valuable target individuals to try to get them to part with individual useful information. Here is term is spear phishing. Spear phishing targets a specific person, usually a person in authority like a CEO or a DG or any minister instead of using mass email. To protect against phishing attacks, disable links in emails. These are the some uh, 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 to protect from the phishing. We need to put some actions like disable links in emails, enable spam filters, and train users to recognize phishing emails. Second term is uh, malware. As you see, malware is the short form of the malicious software. Mal means malicious, ware means software. These malicious software can be worms, viruses, and trojans. All are the varieties of the malware. First is the virus. Virus is a piece of code that automatically reproduces itself. It attached to the other programs or files, but requires user intervention to propagate. Here is the terms. Virus requires user intervention to propagate, but worms doesn't require user intervention to propagate. Uh, Here's the infection. They can infect the uh, their targets can be the uh, executable files, boot sectors, documents, scripts. These are the targets of carrier of these virus. These viruses are propagated by using mails, downloaded files, and shared folders. Next is worms. As I explained, these are the piece of code. They also reproduces itself over the network, but it doesn't need the user intervention to propagate. Their carriers or targets are by which they are infected, uh, buffer overflow, file sharing, configuration errors, and other vulnerabilities. Uh, uh, Email addresses, DNS, IP, network, and neighborhood. These are the selection algorithm for the forms. Here the backdoor Trojan horse rootkits. The goal of backdoor Trojan and rootkits is to take possession of machine subsequently through an infection made via backdoor. First of all, we need to understand about the backdoor. Backdoor is the program placed by black hacker that allows him to access a system. A backdoor have many functionalities such as keyboard logger, displaying spine. Next is Trojan. Trojan is the software that seems useful for benign, but is actually hiding a malicious functionality. Uh, Trojan horse or Trojan uh, it, uh, is looked as the legitimate software, but they are not legitimate software. Cyber criminals use Trojans to gain access to computer systems in order to extract user data. Attackers try to trick users into loading and running Trojans on their computers, run anti-malware software, and disable file downloads to protect against Trojans. Here is the term rootkits. Rootkits operate like backdoor or Trojan, but also modify existing programs in the operating system. Hmm. That allows the hacker to control the system without being detected. A rootkit can be in user mode or in kernel mode. Here's another attack type, that is advanced persistent threats. Advanced persistent threats. As the term itself explains, advanced, these attacks are advanced in itself because advanced means attacker adapts to defender's effort, can develop or by zero-day exploits high level of sophistication. Persistent means specific targets over long periods of time. Attacks are objective and specific, will continue until goal is reached. They will uh, they will target, they will attack until the goal is reached. Mm. Intend to maintain long-term connectivity. That's why these attacks are persistent. Mm. Uh, these are the security attacks. How security attacks uh, uh, takes place. Mm. Uh, in terms of interruption, interception, modification, and fabrication. Uh, First of all, interruption. Interruption is the attack on availability. Mm. Interruption means to become the uh, asset unavailable or unusable. Mm. For example, these attacks are DOS attack and DDoS attack. DOS attack. Mm. DOS means denial of service attack. In this, attacker attack the any particular device or particular person by sending the bulk of the messages, bulk of the un, unuseful messages or data, so that uh, the asset, device, or the particular person should not be accessed by the any authorized person, or the, in DOS attack. In DOS attack, particular sender is the only one device or one person. But in DDoS attack, sender is sending the data from by using the various devices. For receiver, it looks like messages or data is coming from the various devices. So and that's why it is called the distributed. Here is the how we can recognize the it is DDoS attack or not. First of all, first condition is like in peacetime, device keeps real-time TCP UTP statistics for destination. Here is the count is 100, 100, 100. These are the genome count. So we can we mean device understands it as a legitimate traffic. Whatever traffic we are getting, it is legitimate because count is same and they are not excelled in the numbers. Other is flash crowd. In flash crowd, device keeps real-time TCP UDP statistics for destination. Here is counts are increasing rapidly, but all counts are same. SYN packets are 10,000. SYN ACK packets are 10,000. ACK acknowledgement packets are also 10,000. So all counts are same. So uh, here receiver think all counters increase equally means there is an increase in legitimate users. Here is the SYN flood attack. It is the DDoS attack. Here, SYN packets are 10,000. SYN acknowledgement packets are 10,000, but acknowledgement packets are 2,000. Means sender is sending the packets, but receiver is not sending the acknowledgement for them. The receiver has sent only the 2,000 acknowledgements. Device detects mismatch and counters possible SYN flood attack as there is no ACK acknowledgement reply for rest 8,000 connection. So DDoS solution mitigates using challenge response real-time signature mechanism. So this is the here you can recognize the last one is the DDoS attack. Second term is the interception. Interception is an attack on confidentiality. Okay. Okay. Unauthorized person or device can access the data or asset. So by example, wire trapping. Wire trapping is also the example of interception. It is the attack on the confidentiality. Illicitly copying data or programs. Third one is modification. Modification is the attack on integrity. An unauthorized person or party or any device get access and then it tamper the asset or data. So it is the attack on integrity. And here in the diagram, sender has sent the data, but an unauthorized party has accessed for this data and it has modified this data, and after modification it has been sent to the receiver. So data has been modified here. The actual data which should be sent from the actual data which should be received by the receiver, it has not received. So examples of the modification: changing data files, altering a program, altering the content of a message. This is the fabrication. It is attack on the authenticity. An unauthorized party insert a counterfeit object into the system. Here in a diagram, sender has sent the data, but an unauthorized party or person has get the access for this data, and it has this party has reflects here. This party reflects here as a sender for the receiver. It has sent the data as it is sending the data as a sender. So receiver thinks it has been sent by the unauthorized person. Unauthorized person is the actual sender for receiver here. So here is the attack on the authenticity. For example, SQL injection. Here SQL injection, the insertion of record in data files. Or there is the message replay. Insertion of spurious message in a network. Here is some statement which is related to these attacks. Which statement is for the which attack? So we need to verify here. This is the actual answer of this statement. First is malware. Malware malicious software such as computer viruses, bombs, Trojan horses, or spyware that infect a computer network and allow for hackers to compromise the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the information. So this statement satisfy the malware attack. Next one is for the phishing. This next one over DDoS. Here is the sources of infection. How infection can happen in our systems, or these are the sources of the infection. How viruses, rootkits enter in our systems by using random surfing. By using random surfing, sometimes we surf the internet, Facebook, and other social sites. Or through these sites, these surfing, a virus can be entered in our system. Sometimes we open, there are some fake emails. They provide some attachment. When we open these attachment, then through these attachment, the virus can enter our system. By clicking email web links, sometimes some fake links are sent to our email. So by clicking these emails, only by clicking, these viruses can be entered in our system. By downloading audio, video, PDF, doc, some doc or PDF files. So what we need to do? for term, if we need to download the PDF of doc or audio or video for the authentic websites. Hmm. Suppose we are downloading uh, Chrome software. So software should be downloaded from the Chrome websites, not other websites. These other websites can provide the way for the viruses to enter in our systems. So sometimes we forward to update our OS application in our system. Mm. So uh, when we need to update regularly update the software or application in our system so that the viruses should not be enter in our system. Um, Here is the one way by sharing the folders infected series of pen drive. The pen drive infected series and sharing these are the very obvious way uh, uh, for the viruses to enter our system. So we need to uh, take precautions so that our files, software should not be infected. Because we all are the we ourselves are the responsible for the any attack. We need to take precautions. So these are some mitigation that we need to. These are some techniques which ensure computer and network security. Previously, I have also told firewalls, IPS, VPNs. These are the devices. Encryption. These are techniques for the applying patches for OS and applications, secure network, VPN network segmentation, anti-malware software, knowledge of security, SIEM. In addition, users have to practice safe browsing, not downloading from unsafe websites, not opening attachments, not trusting what you see on websites. These are some methods for defense. Application control, device control. Device means our CDs and UCV, USB pen drive like pen drives. These we should use these in control manner, in safe manner, by applying some security policy, data leak prevention, endpoint detection and response, physical controls. These are the network security strategies. Three aspects of security strategy: policy enforcement and audit assessment. Identify assets, know the threats, minimize weakness, proactively secure the settings on device, secure the connection to networking devices, protect data in transit and at rest. Get the term network firewall. It is a device which is used at perimeter level to provide the network security. Why name we it reflects firewall. It's the wall of the fire. Wall. This firewall is the type of cyber security tool that is used to filter traffic on a network. Firewalls can be used to separate network nodes from external traffic sources, internal traffic sources, or event-specific applications. Firewall can be software, hardware, or firmware. These are the some functionality of the firewall. If packet filters checks the packet flow between two networks according to predefined rules. So we made some policies uh, on on firewall. Based on these policies, inside traffic goes outside or outside traffic goes inside the LAN. Based on these policies, the unauthorized traffic is not allowed by this firewall. So by this way, firewall protect our inside LAN from the outside network. Firewall gateway is a secured system that provides access to certain applications. It checks outgoing traffic, restricts incoming traffic. As I have told, hide internal addresses from external world using NAT functionality. It is also firewall also works as a netting, network address translation. It provides the functionality of the netting also. Second device which is used for the perimeter level security, that is IPS, intrusion prevention system. Here's the internet. After that, firewall is placed. After that, IPS is placed. IPS is used for the deep packet inspection. It works based on the signature based detection. Based on the signature based detection means based on the some patterns. Incoming traffic, incoming data is verified based on the some patterns. These patterns are stored in IPS and by using the IPS sensors. So based on the stored pattern, we match the pattern of the incoming data, incoming traffic. If this pattern matches, means this is the attack. So this IPS will not allow this data, this traffic to enter in the our network. So based on the some specific pattern, it prevents the outside traffic. So it works based on the signature based detection. So IPS is a device or software that monitors a network or system for malicious activity or policy violation. Any malicious activity or violation is typically reported by the paging and alert. So IPS is placed at two places, or we can say first one network NIPS or second one is HIPS, network intrusion prevention system. These network intrusion prevention NIPS are placed in at network level, or HIPS are placed at the host level, at host or any device, at the end of any device. These IPS contain the sensors. These are the sensors. Sensors are content processing appliances built for the accurate detection and prevention of intrusions, misuse, DOS and DDoS attacks. These IPS sensors analyze traffic on selected network segments and to respond when an attack is detected. They examine the header and data portion of every network packet, looks for patterns and behavior that indicates malicious activity. Sensor examine packets according to user configured policy rule set, which determine what attacks to watch for and how to respond with countermeasures if an attack is detected. IPS functioning, pattern matching, as I have told, sensors compare network traffic with a database of attack patterns or signatures, effective for only the known attacks. The unknown attacks are not prevented by the IPS. But nowadays, IPS functionality is also modified. So they also look for the some unknown attacks also. Secondly, an anomaly detection captures long-term normal behavior of the protected systems. Compares with short-term observed behavior, sends alarm when a significant deviation is discovered. Third detection, threshold-based detection. In this detection, IPS sensor monitors traffic volumes that exceeds the threshold that is pre-configured by network administration. The traffic which exceeds the threshold, the IPS prevents this traffic. Combining the methods greatly improves the reliability of detection. IPS response generates alerts and packet logs, resets TCP connections, quarantines source and destination IP, block attack packets before they reach the target. Signatures can be deployed in monitoring mode or prevention mode. This is the different mode of the IPS deployment. First is inline mode. Here IPS is placed in inline mode between router and switch. It is used for the real-time immediate response. Second mode is a trap mode. So here it is placed between router and switch, not in inline mode, in as a external. Here IPS is placed as an external device, external tab. So here it is used for the copy all traffic and send to the sensor. It's copy the traffic, then send to the sensor, then sensor reply, then it is sent to the switch. Third is the span mode. Span means switch port and ledger mode. Using port forwarding or port mirroring at switch. Here port address is used for the in this mode port address is used span port and span port. So these are the three modes for IPS deployments. Another device in the segment, another device for the perimeter level security is the UTM. UTM's Unified Threat Management. As I previously explained about the firewall, IPS, these are the devices for they are built for only for the particular functionality. But UTM provides the universal functionality, means it also provides the functionality of the firewall, it also provides the functionality of IPS, and it also provides the functionality of antivirus. So they are the multiple, it is the all-in-one device for the perimeter level security. So there are several functionality which are provided by the UTM, network firewall, IPS, intrusion detection and prevention, gateway antivirus, application level firewall and control, deep packet inspection, web proxy, content filtering, data loss prevention, security information event management, or it also works as a VPN. So UTM provides the multiple functionalities for the perimeter level security. In our NIC, we use the UTMs of Fortinet vendor and also CyberRoam vendor to provide the. There are some vendors which are used for the for providing the UTM devices in NIC. Here we also use the separate firewalls also, segment firewall and UTMs also. These are the some functionality wave filtering. It provides the functionality of wave filtering, blocking traffic based on website categories. Here, based on the website categories, traffic is blocked. Some website like porn website, malware website, and other websites we don't want to allow in our network. These websites are blocked, and or other websites are the allowed uh, for the usage. So it is the web filtering, website based filtering. UTM also provides the URL filtering based on the URL. Some URLs, these are the some government organizations. We don't want to use. We want to allow some URL like social sites URLs and other URLs so that it intervene the employees to work properly. So some organizations block the URLs. So it also provides the URL filtering. Third one is the antivirus, blocking traffic containing viruses. It also provides the functionality of antivirus, IPS, also SSL inspection. It is called the deep packet inspection. Also provide the functionality of application control, blocking applications such as proxy, ultra sub proxy. So it is the all-in-one device, UTM. So the all DDoS, network firewall, IPS, UTM. These are the perimeter level security device, or we can say the network security device. This is the NIST cyber security framework. First of all, we need to identify function towards knowing what assets and users are on the network and understanding the vulnerability, threats, and risks associated with each. So first of all, we need to find which assets, which devices are here, and which users are using these devices. So we should need to account all of these so that we can find out the threats and vulnerabilities. Second one is the protect. The protect function includes the security controls put in place around network devices, network access, and data transiting and export on the network. Third one is the detect. The detect function deals with knowing when something anomalous or malicious happens on the network, understanding the impact and verifying the effectiveness of protective measures. Then execute response processes and manage communication during a breach, as well as learn from mistakes to strengthen the future security postures. Or last one is the recover. After a breach, network security engineers may have a role to play in restoring affected systems to business as usual and implementing improvements to strengthen the network security. They are the key elements for the recovery functions for the cyber security framework. Another terms or entity for the security is the vulnerability assessment. First of all, we need to understand the vulnerability. What is the vulnerability? Vulnerability means any weakness which permits an attacker to reduce the system's information assurance. If any organization has some weakness, and every organization has some weakness through which attacker find the way to exchange the data of this organization, of this system. So that weakness is called the vulnerability. So we need to strengthen that. We need to hide this weakness so that our data, our organization should be safe. Vulnerability is the intersection of the three elements. First is system susceptibility, or second one is Attacker capability, system susceptibility. How system is susceptible. First, second one is attacker success. Or third one is attacker capability to exploit the flaw. These are the scope of vulnerability assessment. Defines, identifies, classifies, and prioritize the vulnerability. Assesses the computer systems and network infrastructure. Provides necessary awareness and risk background to understand the threats. Provides information on the security weakness, or gives direction on how to assess the risks to its environment and be appropriately. These are some types of vulnerability assessment: network-based scans, host-based scan, wireless network scans, application scan, and database scan. It is another tool which is used for the security purpose. SIEM, it is called the Security Information and Event Management. What is SIEM? SIEM is a security information and event management software product and services. Combines security information management, security event management. They provide real-time analysis of security alerts generated by application and network hardware. SIEM software can monitor system for unusual activity and alert you about possible attacks. At the flow diagram of SIEM solution, these are the devices which are used. The logs, the traffic logs of these devices are provided to their log management server. These devices, then these devices logs are provided to their connectors. They are the connectors, smart connectors. We are used for the log forwarding. These are the logger devices where these logs are stored. For particular devices or for more than one devices, logs are forwarding stored in one or two loggers. The other logger devices. These logger devices are connected to the enterprise security management server, the ESM server. Here, aggregation, correlation of these logs are takes place in ESM. All the database is maintained about these logs of the various devices of the organization. Then, based on these logs, here the monitoring team which access these logs. Based on these logs, they monitor the whole security, whole traffic, and provide that this provide the information about any attack or any other thing or block this type of things. That's the whole diagram of the SIEM solution. Functions of SIEM: correlation, monitoring, analysis, and reporting. Correlation means many interesting activities are often represented by more than one event. They are represented by more than one event. So we need to correlate these events. So correlation is the process that discovers the relationship between events, or it provides the significance of those relationships, prioritize them, and then provides the framework for taking action. So correlation is the process of relating, provide the relationship between these events. Second one is the monitoring. Once events have been processed and correlated to pinpoint the most critical or potentially dangerous of them, SIEM provides a variety of flexible monitoring tools that enable you to investigate and remediate potential thieves before they can damage your network. Third one is the analysis. When events occur that require investigation, SIEM provides an array of investigative tools that enable members of your team to drill down into an event to discover its details and connections, and to perform functions such as NS lookup, ping, port info, trace route, web search, and voice. These are some functions on the basis of these functions. SIEM tool provide the SIEM tool analyze the traffic. Last one is the reporting. Based on these analysis, some reports are prepared for the various devices. For individual devices or individual organizations, here are the reports, which type of attack or which type of traffic are there. So they are the reporting part. Next one is the network security audit. Network security with the review of the configuration of network security devices, and analyze the network traffic logs, identifying vulnerabilities in OS and software, review security controls, review of SOPs being followed at the site, internal pen test, preparation of network security audit reports, and follow up for fixing the identified issue vulnerabilities. General audit finding. When we audit the any websites or any go, then these are the some things. These are found on the basis of these things. We say that your device or your software is obsolete. You need to update this device, this software. Okay, obsolete version of OS in the system, obsolete vulnerable iOS and SNMP version of your devices, vulnerable versions of software, browsers, applications, web servers, systems and devices not patched, systems generating suspicious traffic using potential dangerous services like Tor, Trojan, P2P services, system connecting to suspicious malicious domains or IP with bad reputations, absence of security features like antivirus, patch management, URL filtering, application control, anti-spoofing, backbinding, and VLAN pruning. Here are some general audit findings. So we can say every visitor is a potential source of infections. So we need to, there are some devices, multiple USB master storage device like pen drive, removable hard disk, flash drive, and mobile phone are being used for audit finding. Network monitoring, botnet infection, CNC callback, target attack, DDoS attack, phishing. These are the network monitoring. Functions of SIEMs are real-time log correlation, historical log analysis, monitoring and alerting systems, log management. They are the functions of SIEM. This is the administration and management. Security appliances are deployed in pairs to avoid outage. This is called the higher availability or redundant mode. Only so this is the whole about the network securities. So this is all about from my side. If any questions, you can ask. Any question? So thank you. This is